All right, you ready?
Ready. What are we, 25?
Yeah.
25 years old.
Yeah, I think you can.
I'm married. Bitches.
This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned in to episode 25 of The Real Word. Nicole has coined this. Look at that, huh?
Ooh, dude, you're really getting kind of good at those foreshadowings.
Yeah. She's coined this the boring episode, though.
Oh, that one?
Even though 25 is
the silver anniversary.
Because you like those little
I do, like the
gimmicks,
little nuances. Yeah. They told me that we were totally over the age thing because nobody wants to hear my life in reverse. So.
What were you doing at 25, Nicole? Fill them in before we
No, we don't. I'm
jump
good.
into your boring
25.
real estate topics
I'm
that
good.
you don't want to talk about.
You don't want to hear about 25?
Do you want to hear about what I have for our main topic before we get into the rackets?
Yeah, sure.
Do you like it?
I'm chewing gum though, so.
Oh, I thought you were going to take a bathroom break there at first. So.
No.
Brad Inman just this morning put out a fresh article. You like that?
Well, actually, it was this morning, but we're videoing this on Monday, so it was Monday.
But it was top of the morning for the week.
6:53 a.m. Ooh, I bet you he was on the 5 a.m. call.
He could have been on the 5 a.m. call. We should probably get Brad Inman. Ooh. If anyone knows Brad, ping him for me. Love to have him as a guest on the 5 a.m. call. That would be awesome.
So good.
All right, so this week, NAR's board of directors gathers in Washington, D.C.
There's been lots of drama. That Jim Harrison guy's been spieling some stuff, and people have been fighting back to him.
I saw that article.
Now we've got our buddy here, Inman, talking about it.
So Brad says, first, the NAR president, Elizabeth Mendenhall, and CEO Bob Goldberg should consider fessing up to the divide and own it strategy. So, despite your best efforts, not everyone thinks NAR is doing things right. Not everybody is as informed as the leaders. And despite your movement towards transparency, distrust lingers. Do you distrust NAR? And if you do, what do you think NAR's role should be in real estate?
So this is kind of a loaded question, and I think that Byron is doing it to me on purpose so that I'm like a deer in headlights. Because I believe in last episode 24, I always rely on him to get my cliff notes.
No, but just off of you don't need cliff notes for this.
No, I know. I've been reading. So I guess I go in many different directions here, right? So I will be honest. I mean, obviously, I pay my NAR dues. I pay all of my association dues because you kind of have to. Yeah. And it's interesting to me because anyway, we'll get into the whole like realtor debate, I guess, another day. But so I pay all my dues. I do all of that. But I'll be honest, I'm probably not one of the few. I'm probably one of the many that never has really looked into exactly what it is that NAR does or what our boards do. I think when you get into real estate, you just sort of you dive in and just like paddle really hard to do the things that are going to, actually deliver you some business. And for me, looking at NAR and what they do for me was never one of those things. Maybe that was silly on my part, but now looking.
No, not silly actually. And like Tom Ferry said last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever I was at the team thing, he's like, it's called the cost of doing business. NAR. Right. Like, why do you? And so his point was like, don't even focus on them. Pay your entry fee into the business. And then just focus on what you were focusing on, the things that actually bring you business.
And that's really, again, yes. So that's what I do. So I can't even, and again, they're talking about this increase in dues. I guess I'm not even opposed to that because it's not even that large of an increase. I also know just the cost of life is so much more. I mean, just for my kids to go to school or like gas is starting to go up. I mean, so I'm okay actually.
Life is costing you more?
Yeah, life just costs more. Like life. Life is just more expensive. So I guess, though, looking through all of it, I guess I would really like, and what I appreciate the most about NAR is, like, I really appreciate sort of like the RPAC and them, doing things more on.
The lobbyists help, no doubt, this industry. I've said it.
Because I wish I had time to, like,
be involved?
Yeah, I just keep, like fighting and getting homes for my first time home buyer or selling a house and helping someone move south. And like, that's sort of my main focus. So I love that
if you're involved on a national level with NAR, maybe you can get something done. If you're going to go to our local boards, nothing against the people that are involved in local boards, but here in Connecticut, there's a couple local boards where we work. You could go to either one of them. You go to those meetings, you're getting absolutely nothing accomplished. Year after year, they sit there, they have the same meetings, accomplish really nothing. Haven't seen an impact out of either of our local boards when it comes to the community whatsoever, an impact on consumers, a real impact on helping agents succeed. None of that has happened here for us locally. I'm just speaking locally. I talk to a lot of people in different parts of the country. They have the same experience with their boards. Obviously, I can't speak firsthand to that.
Right.
But what I'll say about NAR as a whole, and I've said it multiple times, is if you were to ask Elizabeth Mendenhall, and the reason why I strongly believe this is I got to hear Elizabeth speak at the T360 Summit, and she could not identify the one core thing that NAR does in this industry, right? So are they a technology company? Are they focused on lobbying? Are they focused on protecting the consumer? Are they focused on making sure real estate agents have a place over the next 10, 15, 20 years?
And I think we've actually mentioned a lot of the things that they have tried to get into over our last 25 episodes.
RPR is the most egregious.
Yeah, the website
almost 200 million.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree. I mean, I think they definitely need to. I think that they need to go back to the basic. Why did they start? What were the reasons that they started? Because again, this is where I'm so sort of disengaged too. I didn't even realize that NAR was like a cooperating member of DocuSign. It sounds like we're invested.
I think they're an investor.
I think they're a huge. It sounds like they're
that
a
was
huge
where
investor.
You had mentioned Harrison. That's where I think he got caught in some controversy.
Right.
Claiming that NAR has profited from this.
But NAR is saying that they're not profiting from it. But again, I
don't know how you're an investor in DocuSign and you're not getting some upside there.
Right.
That just means
why would we have invested in it? Because now I'm concerned, like, where are you spending my money? But
why are we invested and you're not getting upside on that investment? That just means you're a terrible negotiator. NAR, like, what are you doing?
Right.
You're not getting any upside there?
Huh.
So, yeah, that was interesting.
The whole thing's very interesting.
So you just have no feeling on NAR. You're just going to stay heads down and focus on what you can control?
I guess maybe it's probably irresponsible of me to keep my head down. I'm just being honest. Up to this point, I have been heads down. I've just been so... Again, you pay your due because you're supposed to, and the same thing with like the local. I mean, again, it's sort of like the e-key. Like you get the e-key because if you don't get the e-key, like you're that agent doesn't have an e-key. You know, like there are some things that you just.
Well, that's a local board thing. That's not a NAR thing.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying because you were talking about the expense of being in the industry or becoming a realtor or whatever. There's just some things that you just you do, right? It's.
Yeah, I mean, if your MLS says you got to be a member of NAR, I mean, you're kind of tied to it. So that 7, 8, whatever, however much money it is.
So I can't say I'll keep my head down, but it's certainly not anything that I'm going to lose sleep over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I do think Brad really hits it here. They need to take this criticism, whether it's on Facebook pages or in discussions like on Inman or wherever.
Even with their logo. I mean, they were calling it Logo Gate. Yeah, I love it. I mean.
They just need to take the frustration of the agent, recognize that, understand it, address it, and then actually do something about it. And to me, that means find one singular focus that NAR is going to concentrate their energy and effort on.
I think they should be doing that now more than ever too with social media. I mean,
Absolutely.
Now that social media is out there and we can actually have dialogues with other agents and we can all sort of rip on you if we want to. Now is like the
and to the
best
CEO's
time
credit, he has jumped on some of these Facebook threads. So
can't hide anymore.
Yeah, let's get into the rackets. Those are
Let's do it.
more fun, and Nicole enjoys them a lot more than this kind of stuff. Racket number 1.
Do it.
It's Infrastructure Week. Did you know that? Every week has their own week.
Every day has a day. I feel like today's like...
Today is hashtag time to build all week. It's number 5 on Twitter. Time to build.
Hashtag time to build.
Hashtag time to build. Infrastructure Week. Mother's Day's over.
I'm going to do it.
You can forget about Mother's Day.
Mother's Day was over before it even started. But
what were some of the other days you wanted to?
Well, there's lots of
Donut
days.
Day.
There's Donut Day. There's like Hot Dog Day. There's like, I feel like Dunkin' Donuts probably started Coffee Day because it,
So those are all a racket. But infrastructure has its own week, so it must not be a racket. And I don't know if you knew this, but
I didn't even read the article.
Every day, there are 32 million trucks traveling our nation's highways, bridges, and tunnels to deliver the goods that we rely on to every corner in America. While you're at the store, you may not stop to think about the journey a product took before it was placed on the shelf, but all of the everyday goods you need are supplied to you by trucks. So
Of course.
everything that we get.
Don't you see them on the
right?
road? They're everywhere.
So we're thinking about infrastructure. Obviously, we live in Connecticut. We live in a New England town. These are small towns. Our infrastructure is awful. If you've ever been on I-95 in Connecticut, you know what I'm talking about.
And it's only 2 lanes, so like forget it if you're kind of trying to go to the Cape from New York.
We're old school around here, so our infrastructure is
taking
terrible.
all day. Yeah.
What I'll say is, I think there'll be, and we've talked about this a lot, I think there'll be far less trucks and cars and all this stuff on our roads
Okay.
in the future. When you saw
They're all just gonna be
self-automated
like, they're going to be in your flying cars.
they'll be flying
above us.
flying drones, flying all
And their
kinds of
shit's
products.
falling out the back. Ooh, it'll give like a new, isn't there like a, what's that? You know, like, isn't there like a saying? Come on, Sam. You know, like when, like, it was like a hot item, like it fell out of the back of the truck, you know? Like,
Fell back truck. It's
yeah,
hot. Shit's
yeah,
hot.
right?
Drop it like
It'll give it a whole new meaning because you'll just be like catching like DVD players.
Just
up
the
in
item is hot. It's like a, you know, if you're in the mob.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cool white mobster 101.
Gotta.
So I think Infrastructure Week is not a racket. I'm gonna be following the hashtag time to build for sure.
Now that I know, I'm gonna hashtag the shit out of that.
Just hashtag it up.
I'm gonna.
It's trending this week. Use
Get all
it,
new
you know.
followers and all.
You can take that pretty family picture you wanted for Mother's Day, and then you could just put hashtag time to build. Maybe they'll think they're getting a 4th, sibling or something like that.
Oh my God.
Time to build.
Dude, someone will be getting demoted from the White family after this past weekend.
Demoted?
Demoted.
Does that mean there's an opening?
There
Mr. White, I'm moving in.
There will not be an opening.
All right, racket number 2 from Nicole's favorite, Realtor
Mag.
Mag. So, hey, this is one thing NAR's supporting.
This
is
is
your
actually,
Realtor Mag articles you keep sending me.
it's interesting. I feel like I could have written this article because everyone always laughs at me because I'm very specific in days that I list properties. I'm very specific in days that I reduce properties too. And I'm happy to see that Realtor Mag has joined my crusade in showing people that I'm not crazy and that I'm not just picking Tuesday because
She's relying on Realtor Mag to show that she's not crazy.
well, they
Think
have
about
some,
that
they
for
have
a
some
minute.
statistics. Go easy. If we sort of scroll down
What's
it.
crazy on what, though? Let them know what we're talking about.
Well, so they were talking about good days to list properties, depending on. I mean, obviously, we're all trying to achieve shortest time and for most money, right? But they're actually.
When do you actually put it on the MLS?
Well, they're finding that Wednesdays is actually the best day to get the most money. They're finding that Thursdays is actually the best day to sell it quickest. And then from there on out, it goes really so. Like Sunday's the worst, Monday's really bad, like Saturday's like okay, but they're saying you should be always listing your property midweek.
So there's a lot of variables there, right? You said to sell it the quickest, you should list it on Thursday.
Yeah, they're saying, well, if you, why don't
I would
you,
say here's
why
why,
not?
but here's why. Because if you list it on, this is my thought. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well, there's a
this.
whole. We could include the diagram. They could see
yeah.
exactly what's happening.
We'll
with
definitely do
advantages.
the price advantage diagram. Thursday to sell the quickest makes sense because if you're gonna put a property on the market on Monday, a lot of the showings may not happen until later in the week, and then by the time you're getting the offer, where on Thursday they know there's an open house on Saturday or Sunday, they get in there on Friday, they put that offer in right away
before the open house, right?
So I think there's some strategy there.
Absolutely strategy, and that's what it all is. That's why you hire a professional so that they can navigate your strategy. And again, I believe in the days. I hate doing anything really on Monday.
So you're saying this is not a racket?
I don't think it's a racket at all. I think it's a racket that people thought that it was a racket that I thought it was a good thing.
You thought other people were the racket.
Well, people thought I was a racket. You always made fun of me. You're like, Nicole, like, what day do I list my house? I'm like, oh, now you're listening to me because you're selling your house. There's good days, and here it is. I actually, although my favorite days are usually Tuesday. Like I do Tuesdays or Thursdays. So it's actually interesting for me to find out that Wednesday's actually the most.
Wednesday's a good day to list.
Yeah, and look, you're making almost $2,000 more if you list that day.
That's a good number. People want more money.
People want more money, but they are saying that Thursdays you actually sell it quicker.
I find it interesting that you thought everyone else was the racket, though.
No, people thought that I was the racket. I didn't think that everybody else was the racket. I'm just saying people thought that you looked at me cross-eyed when
When
I
you said
said
that to
I
me
have
before?
certain days that I like to list.
She did. Because I said, why don't you list that listing already? She's like, no. It has to
No.
be on.
I'm not
You
listing
like
it on
Tuesdays,
Friday.
though. You've always liked Tuesdays
I do
better.
like Tuesdays, but now that I'm reading this, maybe I just hold
gonna
off
switch
and
to
I'll do it on a
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'll do it on a Thursday. I refuse to really do anything on a Monday or a Friday. Monday's just people are getting back to life, and then Friday's just too late. Like people have already made their weekend plans.
And I never like the weekend for some reason because I don't feel like
Anyone's looking at their hot sheet.
Yeah.
As an agent, I'm out there like on the pavement. I'm not looking at my hot sheet.
Yeah.
My clients are, if they're not already looking at properties that day, they're probably at some sort of sporting event or, who knows where they're. Maybe they're on vacation for the weekend.
Yep.
Who knows? But no, I don't ever do anything on the weekend.
No, but but going back to everyone else is a racket. I had this conversation with my
everybody
wife.
else
No, I
is a
understand what you're
racket.
saying. I get
Yes.
it. But
everyone
but
else thought I was a racket.
But we were talking about I think it was more of this this Mother's Day stuff, like stuff that everybody's like a fan of, and I'm just like, I just think I'm super normal, and like everyone else is kind of screwed up on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
What are
made
you
a
normal
lesson on
about?
that.
Dude,
Well,
you Instagram story eating apples every day. That's normal?
It's normal for me. 5amcall.com. If you want to know why. All right, here's the biggest racket of all. Everybody thinks they can do this.
Oh, well, I love it.
Everybody's in this game.
Go ahead.
Elon Musk and Kanye West are getting into real estate now. Racket or not?
I think it's flippin' awesome. So I was actually telling Byron just a few days ago that I wanted to do like a rap parody, and he's like, "No way, I'm not doing that ever. I don't rap." Now we can actually recruit Kanye to join our team,
I'll tell
so
you what,
I can get my rap.
If you can get him in our music video, I'll do a rap parody with you. I have no problem doing that. If Kanye West is
Kanye, I'm coming for ya. You're joining One Company. I can't wait.
I'd love to. If any of you guys have done a rap parody, let us know and what you got out of it. I have a hunch that a rap parody video is going to be fine for a little week of engagement, maybe some new Facebook likes.
Maybe it's
some
not a
new
rap.
followers.
Maybe we do like a rock song.
We could do rock, yeah. Nicole just wants to, have fun all day. Kanye says we're starting a Yeezy architecture arm called Yeezy Home.
Yeezy.
We're looking for architects and industrial leaders who want to make the world better. Kanye says if anyone has ever been to any one of my cribs, they know I'm super into developing homes.
The problem is that I
don't know how going to his crib would make you know that he's into developing homes. Maybe he likes to pick out tile, but that's a little bit different than being a developer.
So my other problem here, though, too, is that I do watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Okay, so we have some insider info here.
It's one of my mindless things that I enjoy doing. And I don't think that Kanye even knows how to stay on task, because I believe that Kim had to live with her mom for at least a year after they had predicted. So I think it took them at least 2 years to build their home.
They were renovating a house?
They were renovating a home.
Or they were building, either one?
Yeah, I think they were renovating a home, maybe adding on. There was some renovations going on. She was stuck at home with Chris. I don't even know where Kanye was when this was all going on, but I in terms of time frame, we'll have to. I could give him a few tips on keeping Kanye,
I don't keep up on Kanye too much.
On task.
I'll say I think Kanye is a brilliant marketer. He's
brilliant, because who would actually call their real estate company Yeezy?
Yeezy Home.
It's kind of like Easy.
Well, once you have the brand
Yeezy, but I feel like I just Yeezy'd, I feel like I'm sneezing.
Yeezy Home.
But again, it's a brilliant way to market it, because now we're talking about it. Look.
Well, here's the thing.
You're on the racket.
He's a brilliant marketer. He's much like our president, Donald Trump. Like, he knows how to get attention onto what he's doing. I think Yeezy or whatever, Kanye in the development game.
We'll work on that hashtag too.
Is a total racket. I don't think he's going to become a real estate developer, especially, maybe he's going to be like an influencer to a development team and get attention to a project.
Or he'll be in our rap video.
But he's not a developer. So I don't see where he has the time to pour into building out a development team, and he's got some stiff competition.
Wait, look at Elon's
California.
name. Look at Elon's. The Boring Company.
Here's what's not a racket. Is Elon Musk putting his hands on anything is not a racket. And he wants to use what's called the Boring Company.
Boring.
They want to use the dirt from the tunnels that they're digging to create bricks for low-cost housing. That, to me, is not a racket, because Elon Musk is brilliant. And if he wants to use dirt and make bricks, I'm all about it. In fact, I will.
You'll help him?
I'll be pushing the bricks.
So you'll be making bricks, but not rap videos.
If Elon Musk says that's the way to do it, I'm in.
Wow.
I'm in for it.
You're like You're
yeah,
like
I think he's a beast. So
wow.
this is really interesting. Like,
I wonder why I called it the Boring Company. What's the scoop on that?
because they're taking dirt and making bricks. I mean, that's pretty boring.
Boring.
You know, just like you thought this whole episode was going to be boring. If you watch to the end,
it's like we knew.
say something.
It is the boring. It is the boring episode.
It's the most boring episode for Nicole.
Because we're talking about the Boring Company.
Because we're actually talking about real estate.
Dude, we don't even know how smart we are.
No, but I think this is super not boring.
Gosh,
taking something that you're going to, you're taking dirt to make these tunnels. So maybe the dirt was going to go to fill or whatever, but actually taking that and creating a resource, these bricks.
Well, and another job. Those are more jobs. You're opening up jobs. Absolutely.
Like taking and all this stuff. He's got these solar tiles for roofs that are actually pretty. They don't look like the solar panel.
Right.
People are so excited about their solar panels on the top of how, and we know that like it's actually an eyesore and people don't like that.
Oh, and there's so many buyers that actually then make sellers remove those solar panels. And then do you know how much it is to remove it? And then like if your lease isn't filled out, I mean, I have one client that lost almost $23,000.
People are like, you don't understand. I haven't paid my electric bill in X amount of months.
Actually, I know, but you're just storing it.
But there's a lot of people that are like, I'll just pay $200 a month not to have that on my roof.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I think anything that Elon Musk, I mean, he's looking at making solar attractive. I think that's 100%.
And now he's making bricks.
Yeah, they actually talk about the
company.
roofing tiles.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
Boring Company, not so boring. All right? Unlike this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you watched all the way to the end, drop us a comment. Let us know on a scale of 1 to 10 how boring this episode was.
At the Boring Company.
On The Boring Show. The
See ya.
Rackets. Later.